friends are heathens, take it slow. Wait for them to ask you who you know.
Hi everybody, how you doing?
Hello.
I couldn't find the. Oh God, what did I do? I couldn't find the right music, so we're using 21 Pilots' "Heathens," which is actually a good song. I gotta say that. Tonight on the regulars, we're back. A dinosaur story. No, we watched Suicide Squad.
And we hate ourselves. I mean, I hate myself. Whatever.
So tonight we're talking about a movie where Margot Robbie and Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, are going to a city to fight some unknown monster creature with some other people, and yeah, it's called Suicide Squad. I'm gonna drink some beer.
Yeah, me too.
As always, I'm Bill. With me is Billy. Say hi, Billy.
Hi, Billy.
I fucking hate you.
I hate me too.
So before we get into it, I'd like to do this, the Cliff Notes, and like if this was a written review, people would skip to the end to see your number, spoiler free. Billy, spoiler free, your thoughts on the Suicide Squad, short, one sentence.
Short one sentence. Oh, shit. Tried too hard to be something else and ended up not being itself. 6.5 out of 10.
Also, you're fucking too high on your camera, man. I'm not changing it. Tilt your screen up. No,
Am I better?
Your screen, not you. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Now a little bit lower.
So professional we are.
You know, it's professional. I have a steady camera here. You're fucking moving around like a... Yeah.
I know. So it happens when you work off a tablet.
Yeah. So my review of the Suicide Squad is that it's the mess squad. It was just okay. It didn't do anything great. It didn't do anything terrible. It wasn't the worst movie I saw last summer, but it wasn't the best.
It was kind of a run-on sentence. What would be your number? Like if you had to give it a number.
I don't give numbers.
I give
it a meh out of 10.
Okay, that's a good. Okay, that's like a 6.5.
Okay, so if you haven't seen it yet, you can tune in if you want spoilers. Otherwise, we're going into spoilers.
Yep.
I really thought this movie, like, this movie is. It tried too hard.
Yeah.
That's, and the thing is, Margot Robbie was actually really great. I wasn't digging her in any of the trailers. I really wasn't.
Yeah.
But she has these moments where she does the voice, she has the lines, and she's Harley Quinn, and it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith plays Will Smith, and I have no problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he does a damn fine job, especially with a character like Deadshot. He's playing Deadshot, who is like a C-rate hitman in the DC universe. Well, C-rate in the sense of that, you know, he's not the top ones, you know?
Right.
And he's a pretty blank slate, so I mean, if you're going for this whole hitman with a heart of gold thing, you picked the right choice, Will Smith.
Right, he's kind of an easy... Well, and Will Smith is a great actor. He's got a lot of good movies under his belt. I Am Legend. I really liked Hancock.
I thought Hancock was good until the whole Charlize Theron plotline came in, and then I didn't like it so much. Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Men in Black 1 is fantastic.
2's not bad. 3's meh.
I like 3 more than 2. That's me.
Yeah. You know, Wild Wild West, the
Wow.
greatest movie ever written. No, but as an actor, you know, Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith brought me to tears in that movie. And I think he's a great actor. I think maybe the character was a little too blank for him. I don't know. He was okay.
Yeah,
like,
he was okay. And what I really laughed the most at is when he says something overly gangster, and I fucking laughed my ass off every time when he says like, "Oh, you a deaf hoe," or she dead, or that gang, like something Will Smith would never say, and you're just like, he delivers it right, and you're just kind of like, that's Will Smith saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was fantastic. Jared Leto's Joker. We were talking earlier before this while you were, and I hate the look. I fucking despise the look still.
Right, the tattoos are a little much. The one thing that really pissed me off in the what is that, where Harley Quinn was dancing and shit, like the meeting when they were having the meeting, he does this. and there's the little hand.
Yeah.
It's like that is, to me. First of all, we talked about this about how the movie seems to try and hit a hot topic crowd.
Yeah.
That is what a hot topic person would think the Joker would do.
Yeah, and the thing is, I hate the look, but I actually dig him. You know, there's a lot of problems with this movie, not because of the movie per se, but because of the DCU. I don't know if you got that feel.
Well, I got a feeling that a lot of the issues to me were the script. I had a lot of issues with the writing and with the editing and how moronic the movie felt in general in terms of, you know, you've got these great characters and you have these great actors. Jared Leto is great. Requiem for a Dream is up there as one of my favorite films. And you just kind of splatter whatever seems to work onto these characters.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so here, before we get more into it, this is one of my major problems, is like, in this cinematic universe that they're building, we're dealing with an older Batman who is kind of retired after the death of Jason Todd because of the death from the Joker and Harley Quinn in this place, which is fine because they said like a younger Joker killed him because he didn't really know, like there was no playful banter. It was more of to hurt Batman kind of thing, which is fine, except then we have this idea that the Joker is still in business, and why would Batman ever retire if the Joker was still in business? It's just a weird, like, I don't get the timeline here at all.
I feel like all these movies are written independently, and now they're just trying to smush them into a continuity.
Yeah.
And the problem is, you know, obviously Suicide Squad is going to draw a lot of comparisons to Guardians of the Galaxy because it's that kind of like punk, you know, rebel movie of the cause. The problem is it took, 7, 8, 9 movies for them to get to Guardians and Marvel, and now they're starting with this really weird, obscure IP as the third movie in a DCU line.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, I wanted to bring it up later, but I guess now's a good point. Is like, people don't realize, the general masses don't realize that DC has a lot of weird shit in its comic book universe that most people don't know, because most people think DC, they think Batman. You know, the Nolan Batman has been, you know, what is number one for a while, and, you know, that was very grounded and down to earth. You might think Superman, oh, but he's an alien, but he fights normal people, it's fine. And the DC cinematic universe is dealing with, like, this first 10 minutes of Man of Steel, fucking Russell Crowe's riding a goddamn dragon, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like, this movie, it's not the Enchantress who's a problem, it's like, the character Katana has a sword that captures the souls of the people it kills, and you're just like, that's fucking weird, and we're not taking any time to notice that.
Yeah,
you know, they went too weird too fast. When, like, you look at the MCU, I really hate making the comparisons because all the DC fanboys will get pissed off at us, but this is the truth right here.
Yeah.
Is that, like, they did Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, and then they did Thor, and Thor was super safe for a Thor movie.
Yeah.
Then we waited till after the Avengers, almost done with Phase 2, to get Guardians of the Galaxy, where a talking raccoon and a giant tree. You know, the absurdity of that movie, I remember watching it going, this should not happen, but it's James Gunn, so let's, you know, ride the nuke down and go, woohoo, bitches, you know?
Yeah, well, and here's the other thing, too. And here's what I think I've realized while watching the movie. With Guardians, we have 4 characters to introduce. 4 relatively simplistic characters to introduce. A guy who says, I am Groot. A raccoon that likes to shoot shit. And Peter Quill really has the most in-depth story of all of them. With Suicide Squad, they are trying way too hard to introduce way too many characters way too quickly.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I actually thought, because after, like, looking at some pre-reviews and shit about how they introduce the characters, when they do, like, Amanda Waller.
Waller, yeah.
I
keep wanting to say Weller.
Yeah, is reading their dossier, right? And
that's a good introduction, you know?
But you know what? At least they didn't... I was really nervous that what she was going to do is be like, Deadshot, and then it goes, pa 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 pa, and it shows all the shit. And then they just go, and Harley Quinn. Da, 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 da. And so they at least took some time to, like, introduce some characters, so we knew who Deadshot's daughter was. We knew what his goals were. We knew who Harley Quinn was, where she was coming from. So I was actually relatively impressed with the first half of the movie.
Yeah, I actually have some notes here. I said, great start. other than some very odd music choices, which we'll get into some more later. I really dig Will Smith as Deadshot. He brings a very, you know, home, like a very cool, very, I mean, when I say very Will Smith, don't mean it like a negative thing, like very cool, very relaxed, and every kind of person take on Deadshot, especially when he's doing that hit, and he's like, now double it because you're an asshole. And you're like,
Yeah.
that's, you know, and then he delivers like such a badass, and you're like, okay, this is kind of cool, you know?
Bounces the fucking bullet
Yeah.
off a wall into a guy's head.
Like, that's totally Deadshot, and you made Will Smith work in it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And then, like, they didn't spend a lot of time on, like, why Harley Quinn fell in love with the Joker, and I don't really... We'll get into that in a minute, too. I think we need to have a whole Harley Quinn Joker moment, but I want to get through part of the movie before we get there.
Right.
And then they introduce... okay, I'm going to say it. I didn't hate Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. I thought he was actually kind of funny and charming.
In all honesty, I thought he was underutilized.
That we'll get to that too towards the end, because the whole movie I was like, what are they going to use him for? And it never fucking happens.
Yeah.
And he's
Boomerang camera.
Yeah, boomerang camera. But there's like 12 moments where you could be like, oh, they could use the boomerang here and justify his whole existence. They don't. Why is Harley on this considered team? Why at all?
Yeah.
Like, I understand Deadshot. I understand Killer Croc. Which, by the way, though he had a very bit part and he was kind of like a one-dimensional villain, they nailed him. He was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I really like Diablo.
Yeah,
Diablo.
well, I was going to get to the Diablo, too. Diablo was a surprise. He was really good. The actor, I don't know his name, knocked it out of the park. He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
And I almost think maybe the most interesting, sympathetic story
Yeah.
in where I really felt for that character, where he was like, I'm not going to do this shit anymore. I'm putting it aside. I don't want to fight. I don't want to kill people because of what I've done.
Yeah, and it's really a good plot line.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I said like Killer Croc was one-dimensional, but in reality, what I liked, my problem with Killer Croc is that he had his story arc within like 5 minutes of on-screen time of he accepts that he's a monster and he's okay with it. And I really like that they did that, but I wish this movie would have said, how can you become human again?
Yeah.
Make him care, you know, but which is fine that they didn't. I'm just saying, like, that's what a good writer would have done.
Yeah. Here's my discerning problem with the first half of the movie. That putting the Suicide Squad together makes no sense.
No, it really doesn't.
Amanda Waller walks on that meeting and she's like, what happens if the next Superman decides to fly right into the White House and pick up the president? Well, we're going to put a team together. And we're going to put Harley Quinn with a baseball bat on this team.
Which, as much as we're making fun of her, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn was a highlight of this movie. Like, if they would have justified her being there more.
Right.
No
and like, even then, like, you think about it. Like, think about... They're trying to justify if the next Superman is a bad guy. Like, if we have another Zod and he starts killing people. So what's Margot Robbie going to do with her bat? Deadshot's guns aren't going to work. Killer Croc's going to get fucked. Yeah. The only one who remotely has a chance is Diablo.
Diablo and the Enchantress. Which, time out, that first Enchantress transform scene, brilliant.
Puts her hand down and the hand comes out and
then
flips.
It inverts. That was... Someone deserves an Oscar for that scene alone.
Some of the people deserve recognition for a lot. When Enchantress takes over the other guy to turn into her brother, and she's standing behind him, and you see him in the mirror, and then she comes through the mirror.
There's a lot of cool things with her, except the idea of like putting a Suicide Squad together is pointless when you have the Enchantress, who is blatantly overpowered.
Yeah.
And then she becomes the bad guy and then doesn't do anything the whole movie. And you're just like, what a waste.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the motif of this movie is what a waste.
Yeah.
Like, why are we putting so many things in here that you've got a pretty A-list acting cast, or at least a good fit for all the characters they're playing, and this really good introduction to them, and this really good intro to these characters.
And a good build-up of characters reacting to characters. When they all meet each other and they're suiting up, and Flag clearly despises them, who's the generic army guy. But like them chatting is fantastic, with like Harley and Deadshot having this little record of like, what, that doesn't fit anymore? Talking about, you know, Deadshot's mask. And he's like, no, just every time I put it on there, someone dies, and I like putting it on. And she's like, good. And she like
Yeah.
they're fun, and like them as a team, they're having fun, and that gives me moments of going, yes, this movie could be awesome.
Yeah.
And then it gets washed away.
And it's like I said, and the motivation for putting the team together is really shitty, I think.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't make sense.
Well-
Like if they were to come in and be like, look, hey, we got some shit going on, and we need to put a team together that has some abilities that we can afford to lose,
Well-
that we can afford for them to die, and just ignore the whole Superman argument.
Yeah, well, in the comic books, they are put together to go into foreign countries to handle problems that Superman can't go to because it would be seen as an act of war.
Right.
That if they get caught, they're bad guys. Who fucking cares? You know, they're doing what
we
bad guys
didn't
do.
send them. What happened? We
Yeah.
didn't send them.
Yeah, and that
it-
movie would have been awesome.
If they would have booked it that way, if they never would have even talked about Superman,
Yeah,
and they just would have said, "Look, we need people
that are expendable.
and that have abilities that normal people don't have,
Yeah,
that we can send in, and if they die, we don't give a shit.
if they get
And
caught, we don't give a
We
shit.
don't give a shit. We throw them under the bus, exactly like Amanda Waller said.
If everything goes haywire, we just say the bad guys did it, and we send in Superman to clean it up or Batman to clean it up.
Yep.
You know, just something like that.
Or boop boop boop, blow up all their heads, and
Yeah.
we're done.
And they're like, well, who are we going to get? We'd be like, well, we have these guys sitting in jail that nobody's going to miss.
Yeah. So
You know?
send them.
Yeah.
And they're strong, and they have weapons and whatever. Cool.
They have skills and abilities and the know-how to do things. Because if like they had like an idea of like they had to go into this say foreign city, they need to figure out what's going on because there's an evil threat going on, and Harley had to use like her underworld knowledge.
Yeah.
Like that would justify her being there. You know, she's like, we need the know-how. She goes, well, hell, Mr. J and I used to, hit this guy up for explosives. And like,
Yeah.
explosives for what? Bombs, duh. Something really dumb like that. But you're like, okay, that makes sense. So she has an in.
But they try and justify it as an anti-Superman deterrent, and it's like, no,
that doesn't make
because this team would be destroyed in seconds by Superman.
Yeah. Okay. Then I have the movie officially, besides the random jumping soundtrack, officially goes downhill with the introduction of Katana. Because it is so poorly put together. She has a random flashback cut that it totally breaks up the whole flow of the film. That I'm just going,
Okay, this is
What?
the thing now? Yeah, well, when she shows up on the plane.
she
right?
shows up
Like,
on a helicopter. When they're leaving, she just jumps on the helicopter and just like, there's Katana. And you're just like, who the fuck is this?
oh, and it feels like they were like last minute. They were writing the script and they were like, someone was like, "Hey, do you know about the character Katana?" And they were like, "No, tell me." And they're like, "Oh, she sounds cool. Fucking write her in."
Yeah.
Because even then after that, she doesn't really do much.
No, her and Croc only exist there to kill things, and they don't kill that many things.
Well, and what I feel like the analogy to this is like they're filming and like the actor who plays Killer Croc and Katana are just like,
We don't have any lines here. What do you want us to do? You see
Just
those?
stand there.
You see
Just
those
stand.
those extras over there? Throw them around. Okay.
yeah, and then done. And it just feels like this should have been a Joker, Harley Quinn, Deadshot, Diablo movie.
Yeah.
And then we would have been fine.
Well,
We didn't need Captain Boomerang. We didn't need Killer Croc. We didn't need
we
Katana.
didn't need them, but like at the same time, I liked Captain Boomerang. I liked Killer Croc, and like only like a single rewrite would have made them worthwhile. You know?
No, I like them too. And
But you're
I
right. They didn't need to be there. You could have swapped them out with any other villain, and nothing would have changed.
Yeah, nothing would have. They didn't do anything specific.
Oh, we're forgetting the most important character in the whole movie, fucking Slipknot.
You know, it was funny as I was watching. I was like, I see this guy come out of the fucking car, and I'm like, yo, I didn't see that guy in the trailer. What the hell is he doing here?
No, the funny thing is, if you saw him in the trailer, guess what? You spoiled the whole movie for him because that's it. He's not in it.
And sequentially after his head getting blown up after he tries to escape, my favorite line of the movie.
Oh, that line.
Margot Robbie, I love you, but
But
that's a killer app. Fuck, I wanted to fucking shoot myself in the head, in the fucking head. That was such a bad line. The delivery was great. Like I said,
Yeah,
she gets the voice,
great,
she gets the personality.
but that's a terrible line.
But there was some very terrible. We talked about this earlier. The Katana line. Oh, you smell, or what is your perfume? The scent, the reek of death, or whatever.
The recent smell of death.
And I was just like, I feel like it's that one friend you have that's like tells jokes that he finds funny, but no one else finds funny, and that's exactly.
Or they just keep talking until they find something funny.
Yeah, and it just didn't fit.
Well, the one thing I did like was that I liked the homage of Slipknot and Boomerang in this. In the first comic that they had villains in the Suicide Squad, Boomerang says, "This is all a ploy. They're not going to blow us up." And Slipknot walks away, but they blow off his arm because like they have like bracelets.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool, but did you have to kill this character?
Yeah.
Why did you even have him? Why didn't you just write him the fuck out if he wasn't there? There was no point.
I guess the purpose is to show that they would do it, but nothing in my mind in the movie ever made me think that they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like they even say it. They're even like, if you die, we don't care.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they blow the shit out of you? Like I guess it was used as to make a point to say that we would still kill these characters, we would still blow them up if they tried to escape, but you didn't need to reinforce that by having this one-off shitty character that was in the movie for 10 minutes.
Let me ask you a real quick question now. What's more deadly in the DC cinematic universe?
Zack Snyder's directing.
Superman or helicopter crashes?
Apparently not helicopter crashes.
Because there's like 4 of them in this movie,
okay,
and everyone walks away.
So let's. Okay, so we've already talked about like the introductions and shit, like the beginning of the movie. So they go to start fighting these fucking weird zombie ass looking things.
The thing that bothers me too is that I misheard this at the beginning, so I was totally lost in the movie when they're like, okay, so they're going into town to stop the Enchantress. Okay, no, they're going to go pick up some person that's called like HN01, and I'm just
HVT1, yeah.
I'm like, what? And I'm like, when the fuck did this happen? What is their plan to stop it? Because later on they go, okay, I guess we're gonna go stop Enchantress now, and you're just like, was this plan B? What was their original plan to stop the Enchantress? Nothing?
Yeah. Now why am I blanking? What the fuck was HVT1?
Okay, so the big twist is they get to this top of this office place, and it's Amanda Waller.
Okay.
But you don't know why the fuck she's there. They give like some half-assed answers that she's like, I was studying the Enchantress. I'm like, why were you there? Like, what were you doing? And it was like a hotel room too that they were hidden in. So it's like you had like 20 people walk into this hotel room, into this secret back entrance of an office that they didn't have clearance to talk about the Suicide Squad. So Waller shoots everybody.
Yeah.
What?
And I'm thinking about the action scenes leading up to this. Like any of the action scenes in the movie feel wholly unmemorable. When I think of memorable action scenes, I'm going to mention maybe what might be my top action movie of all time, Kingsman. I love Kingsman because you could sit here right now and probably I can tell you the scene in the mountains where
the chateau, yeah.
Yep. The most memorable church murder scene and the disco fight at the end with the girl with the sword legs. I could tell you right now exact events that happen because those scenes are memorable.
Yeah.
You know what I can tell you I remember from Suicide Squad? And that was it.
Yeah, and like the first big one is just like each like action scene is like a way to show off a certain character every now and then. Like the first one is like, yeah, but like the first one is like everyone's shooting all these creatures and it shows like all of these bullets dropping. I'm like, there's no way they're going through that many bullets right now. And then it just stopped. Everyone stopped shooting to see Will Smith doing like massive killing spree. And I'm like, no one would stop shooting like that. That's dumb.
Yeah. And Diablo only gets one part where he sets shit on fire. He never does anything else. Harley maybe beats a couple of guys to death with a baseball bat. Maybe like three or four.
You know?
Yeah. And
we can't tell what Croc's doing because this movie is so dark that you can't make out shit, and all your minions look lame because all they are like black eyeballs. I don't fucking know.
They were like bubbly. It reminded me of like oil. They looked like bubbly oil.
The minions were terrible. Okay, most of the design. Okay, every design in this movie was terrible.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. And like I said, there was no memorable action scenes. I just remember guns.
Yeah, there was guns and
Rick Flag shot some people. Deadshot shot some people, and maybe we saw some punching.
Yep.
And that's
there
it.
only like 2 action scenes, like the office and the alleyway. I think that's it.
And then the final fight with
which was
Enchantress.
just terrible.
Right. I mean, it followed the golden rule of 3. You know, you always want 3 decent action scenes, but like none of these were decent.
No, none of them were good. None of them were on par with anything else, and it was just blah.
I feel like, and I think we've talked about this in other videos we've done, but it comes back to what is Deadpool syndrome. Deadpool syndrome is doing good things with a character in a movie and doing the things that the character represents.
Yeah.
You know, Deadpool was good because it had a character who was a smartass who had to use weird techniques to fight, who cut his own hand off and made references to modern, you know,
everything.
Pop culture.
Yeah.
And Suicide Squad didn't follow what Suicide Squad is.
Yeah, I had a friend who was, before the movie came out, was fucking putting up his paladin shield saying, all the reviews saying the great cast, but a lame villain and a terrible, like a predictable plot. That's everything Deadpool had. I'm like, except you're forgetting that Deadpool was basically a love project towards the character.
Right.
And it was true to the character to the nth degree.
Well, and
Deadpool
Deadpool
was made by fans for fans and mass audience.
The character even admits that the movie is Deadpool. Even admits that the story is generic. Like it's self-referential in the fact that it is a generic movie.
Yeah,
with some non-generic elements. But like, I just don't get it, and I don't get how they build this movie. I don't get what they were trying to do. And this is coming from someone who I can watch any movie and find something redeeming about it. I like almost every movie because I can find at least one thing. This is coming from a guy who watched the Nicolas Cage movie The Knowing and still walked away and was like, "Oh, okay. This is so bad it's good." And invariably own it and like it because it's that bad.
It's like if this movie went so bad it was good, I would love it. But but it falls on the just okay scale that just you kind of go, it's the same problem that I kind of had with Ghostbusters. That it didn't go so cringeworthily bad that you could make fun of it. You couldn't do that because it was just meh or bad.
Yeah.
It never went Sharknado.
It just felt uninspired.
Yes.
It felt like, I think that's my running word for a lot of movies. A lot of movies of this year just feel uninspired. They feel like they're made because they have to be. They feel like they're made because they're part of a larger context. And the jokes don't hit. The dialogue doesn't hit. I don't care about any of these characters. If at the end of the movie Amanda Waller were to have walked out and went bam, 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 and shot all of those characters dead,
I wouldn't care.
I would not have given a shit. I would not have cared.
Okay, so the bar scene was good. It was so good that I don't even want to talk about it because I'm just afraid I would rip it apart.
It's not.
It was okay. It was like the only highlight in the second and third act of the film.
But here's the thing. The only reason it was because it felt like they were trying to ham-fist in some character development.
Well, yeah.
So we cared before the final conflict.
There was some really bad character development. Like, everything said about Harley and Harley's speech was really poorly written. I wouldn't say it was poorly delivered. It was just poorly written. That was just kind of there. Where, like, Captain Boomerang yells at her saying, why is it always a knife fight when you open your mouth? I'm like, Harley has never said anything that was, like, remotely pissing anybody off yet.
Yeah.
And that's just the weird thing that happens is, like, you can clearly tell so much of this movie was cut out. Which leads us to the Joker before we get to the final fight.
Right. So, a lot of controversy, especially from Jared Leto himself, pissed. The guy's apparently fucking irate right now about a lot of the stuff he did being left on the cutting room floor.
Well, also, like, the whole thing about someone suing them right now for false advertising is fucking true, because I have never seen a trailer that had more cut shit than this movie.
I mean, we were literally missing so many parts of what we saw in the trailers, and so many parts what we saw in the trailers that actually looked somewhat good.
Yeah.
I actually would have been down for this movie if they would have just made the Joker the villain.
I would have been okay with that. I would have been okay with it if, like, they used the Joker like they said they were going to originally, like a Hannibal Lecter character. Like, how do we get to work with Harley Quinn? She's not going to do it. Well, you know, kind of thing. I don't know.
And so invariably making, you know, Joker the villain would make that early premise about Superman killing bullshit irrelevant. You just say, look, we have a villain, we need them to take him out, and here we go.
And that would also give a reason for Harley Quinn to be there. You know him better than everybody else.
Right, we need you to help. And then while the movie's going on, she's having this subplot of trying to sneak away with Joker or secretly trying to help him out.
Or dealing with, what should I do? Should I bring him down? Because he left me to rot in jail.
Oh, by the way, can I have some shit really quick about the fucking cell phone that Harley Quinn has? Are you telling me nobody was like, hey, maybe we should check this, or maybe we should see what she's doing, but they just give her a cell phone back that very obviously has the Joker's number in it?
It's like bright purple and red, and like has custom emojis that have the Joker on it, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, and no one was like, hey, Harley, let me see your phone really quick. Like, no one high school teachered her on that one. Like it's just so shitty. It was so stupid.
So, the Harley Quinn Joker storyline is billed as a basically straight romance.
He's trying to save her.
Which...
And gets shot down in a helicopter and survives, just like Amanda Waller does, and everyone.
But, like, some people are like, well, that's not the Harley Quinn and Joker, and I don't hate it. I don't like it. I don't know what to think, because a Harley Quinn Joker storyline is so hard to pull off.
Well... Here's the thing.
I don't know.
We saw a lot of that early footage that was coming out, like video of, you know, the Joker slapping Harley Quinn and abusing
her.
And there's a lot of hearsay that the relationship between them was a lot more abusive.
Which it's not even that I want that. I don't want that either. You know?
It's not that I'm sitting here being like, I wish the Joker was, you know, beating the shit out of Harley Quinn, but I think that makes Harley Quinn more of a mentally engrossing character. She is essentially the abuser's, you know, he still loves me victim, this kind of stereotypical victim, which makes her, in my eyes, more of a mentally engaging character, why I want to learn more about her. This stupid Romeo-Juliet bullshit love story of him trying to save her after he shoves her into a vat of fucking acid seems really weird in his motive.
I think it's a good start to the story with him going, where is she? You know, the whole, like, the first time you meet him, and like, well, she's in like some you know, off the map prison that we don't know where it is. Okay, that's a good motivation to start with, but like, the Harley Quinn Joker relationship is always something that I don't think anybody has touched right. Because, again, this was born in a cartoon when you couldn't have domestic violence or really anybody killing anybody. And it was kind of more of, they wanted Joker to have a sidekick. So they made Harley Quinn. And it worked. And then it kind of turned into this one-way love relationship. But for some reason, the Joker keeps around. So it's clearly a two-way love relationship, but we never see it. And the same with the Joker backstory. The mystery is always better. Yeah. We don't need to know. And like putting a domestic thing and making her mentally abused. Yeah, that makes it a more interesting character. But I don't think that's true to the relationship. What makes it interesting to look at going, why does she stick around?
Yeah.
And you don't want she should leave. Why is she sticking around? Because the abusing victim thing, that I'm just like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want the mystery of why is she there? Why? I want to see the Joker seduce her into becoming insane. We didn't get that.
We just saw him push her into the vat, like be like, you need to do this, and she falls in the acid.
Like, we see one scene where he's like, all right, Mr. J, I got you this. I want you to bring me a machine gun. We're breaking out. Okay, you get electrotherapy. Okay, you've been put in acid. Okay, and I'm just like, this is like the Cliff Notes. It's a slideshow.
Well, and that's what I think we're missing a lot in what was cut from the film. I think we're missing a lot of that Joker Harley build, and I think it comes from two things. I think here's what I guess. My guess is DC was afraid to put a lot of stuff out there, and two, DC has been doing a very terrible job at interfering with making a film.
Yeah.
Where Marvel, we talked about this.
For the most part, Marvel is starting to become more hands off because they can trust things. But at the same time, just to make sure, because this is the second time we're bringing it up. I didn't bring it up the first time. I mean, Marvel did push out Favreau. He didn't like how in touch they were. They eventually pushed out Whedon with Ultron. They knocked off
Edgar
Wright. But at the same time, the Russo brothers are killing it, and they gave them the Kings of the Kingdom, as well as James Gunn pretty much has a blank check now. So
yeah,
so I think Marvel's learned right away to go trust the people you trust with and say, this is what we want, make your movie.
Yeah, do it. This is a few things we want you to do to help with continuity.
Make sure this plot's in here. That's about it.
Yeah, and so I just feel like there's a lot of interference. I feel like, and I really hope, I still have not seen the ultimate cut of Batman vs. Superman, which everyone seems to be saying is better, by just pushing more shit into the movie, making it 3 hours long. I really hope we don't get a DVD Blu-ray release of this movie, and the cut that's on the Blu-ray is better.
Because then we've learned that the DC bigwigs aren't cutting the film right anymore.
Right. And then, so, I mean, going into this movie, I read a lot about what was going on with the cutting. I can't remember the name of the director, but David Ayer. And David Ayer's done a shit ton of good movies. If you've ever seen Training Day, did the first Fast and Furious, he's done a lot of good movies. I know he has said that initially, I think about 6 months ago, that this was not the cut that he wanted. This isn't what he wanted. He made a darker, grittier movie. And then now he's invariably saying, this is the cut that I wanted. Which what director is going to be like, this isn't what I wanted the weekend the movie comes out?
No. The guy who did Fantastic.
Yeah, that too. And then he got his ass chewed for that. Yeah.
Blacklisted.
But there's got to be some production bullshit we're not hearing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you can tell it just by the mess of the cut or the random fucking soundtrack jumping from classic rock.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. We got to hit we got to talk about the final fight, and then we're done. Because we've talked for 40 minutes about this movie, which is 40 minutes longer than I want to talk about it.
Exactly.
So, the soundtrack is trying so hard to be Guardians of the Galaxy, it hurts.
And the problem is, Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack made sense because the soundtrack was very articulate to what the story was trying to tell. Here's this tape cassette you're getting from your dying mother.
It's important to Peter Quill. He listens to it for his whole life. So naturally, becomes literally his personal soundtrack.
We see that introduction to him with a song that is representative of his mother. And so the plot makes sense. We start with, is it Sympathy for the Devil? I know Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones is in the beginning.
No, the beginning starts with House of the Rising Sun.
Yeah. Okay, House of the Rising Sun.
So much of this movie, the parts of the songs that were used are like punny. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well, and it's trying to capture exactly what's happening in the moment. We're seeing Deadshot do cool stuff, so we hear Sympathy for the Devil in the background. It's like, oh, so funny, so original.
Or like he's at the shooting range shooting stuff. Let's play something like Kanye West right now, which is like
Power.
Yeah, and no, it wasn't Power. Power is a good song. That wasn't. Or was it? It was like Theme Song or something like that. Was it?
Oh yeah. I don't
remember what it's called. Or like I'm blanking on the song right now, but when Amanda Waller is introduced. What song was that playing? It's the Please Allow Me to Introduce Myself.
Yeah, that's Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones.
That's being played as she's being introduced, and I'm like, are we really?
This is for those of you in the podcast who don't know, I do like theater shit with kids, and I've done theater a lot. This is what I talk about in theater when like people try to put like pre-show music together, and they're putting together like everything that exactly represents what's going to happen in the show step for step. It's like, no, you don't want to do that. You want to use music that is elusive to the themes and ideas of what's going on.
Put down themes and ideas. Like the one show I was in that did it really good was The Pillowman, where they put down a lot of creepy yet innocent songs.
Right.
That you just kind of go, the hell is this? Getting people in a very uncomfortable state, but making them also feel reassured. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like, yeah.
So they were too explicit. And here's the thing. Let me just justify how weird this movie was. You and I, who are movie fans, who are superhero fans, cannot remember moments from this movie. I judge a movie how good it is by how much I can remember what happened in it after seeing it. And like I said, the last time I watched Kingsman was 2-3 months ago, and I can tell you things, action for action, that happened in that movie. I saw Suicide Squad less than 24 hours ago, and I can't remember shit.
Today, I quoted randomly Maverick, the Mel Gibson movie based off of the TV show, because I remember that. You know, the last time I saw that movie, about a decade ago. Right. I randomly quoted it because someone brought up gambling, and I was just like, I just said something, and it was to my dad, and he just laughed, and he quoted it back to me. That's a great thing. I can quote this movie like a handful of lines, but I can't remember specific events just because it's so generic.
Right. And so the soundtrack does this really weird switch from all this, like, there's like Paranoid by Black Sabbath, and there's Rolling Stones, and there's the Animals, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Eminem.
Well, to be fair, before Eminem was Seven Nation Army.
Oh, yeah, but even then, like, that's such a weird genre jump. And I hate that we keep comparing it, but you have to. Guardians is all this late 70s, early 80s, you know, Otis Redbone.
Pop music, you know.
The Cherry Bombs and, like, all these quintessential
Jackson
songs.
5, David Bowie, you know. These songs that were top hits. That they even bring up. These are top hits that I had growing up that my mom made me a tape for. It's awesome. Yeah. This is like someone just spun the wheel and said, fuck it, let's throw Eminem in there.
Well, and you can really tell that it feels like a lot of these songs were an afterthought. Because the songs don't even really fit.
No.
With the moments that, like, some of them fit in this weird pun way, but then most of them don't. No. They just feel like they're like, oh, we like Kanye West. He's a popular guy. Maybe we should put him in. And they end the fucking movie on Bohemian Rhapsody, which is the most overplayed, over karaoke bullshit song ever. I love Queen, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
but, like,
you
using
can't
that
hate
song
Queen,
in
but
movies,
like at this point, you're over it.
Yeah,
you know?
Using that song in movies is so overdone, and it's been done better.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So so we go Seven Nation Army, and then we hop right into Eminem,
which, you know, weirdly, the song worked there because it wasn't like punny, and it kind of fit like this kind of playful tune that was going on there, which I'm glad they picked like a more playful Eminem song, but it just came out of fucking nowhere, you know.
What Eminem song was it even? I can't remember now.
See,
this is the problem.
Guess Who's Back?
Oh, yeah.
When
Trailer Park Girls Go Around the Outside, and they show Harley Quinn. I remember that now.
Yeah, so that's like the only punny part, but like the way it was synced up with everybody else kind of worked for a minute until they got to Deadshot, which wouldn't be playing that. So I don't know.
It's just so unmemorable,
so,
and the music makes it less memorable.
Getting to the final fight, the whole movie, I'm wondering, why is Captain Boomerang here? Though he makes sense because he has these deadly weapons. He makes more sense than Harley Quinn. They get to this final fight, which is the biggest BS final fight of all time. It reminds me of a more gritty, darker version of the fight in Wild Hogs. Do you know that movie? With Tim Allen?
Yes.
Where the final fight happens where they just keep getting up and getting pushed back down when they're clearly getting their ass kicked.
Yeah.
And you're like, why are they doing this? I don't fucking know. That's what this final fight is. Like, the Enchantress brother shows up, and they're like, this guy has been murdering fools left and right, bringing down helicopters like a badass.
Really quick, I will say with the brother, when he first came around and he did that thing with the subway train, and he just held his hand out and he busted through the subway train, that was really cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
So it set up kind of a cool guy. I was like, oh, okay, this guy seems pretty cool.
Never used.
Yeah, it never happened.
And so this final fight happens, and like they're just getting pushed around, bullshit. Like, and there's this cool scene where like, how are they targeting all our armies? And it shows Waller hooked up via tentacle to her brain. I'm like, oh sweet. You mean Captain Boomerang is gonna throw his boomerang, and cut the tentacle off, and they lose the ability to do things? Nope. Oh, we just need to stab the Enchantress's heart, which is the big glowing thing right here. Why don't we have Captain Boomerang throw his boomerang in there and stagger her in the heart? Nope, doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what the fuck?
I would have loved to. Okay, first of all, one thing that we forgot to mention, because we were talking about the bar scene, and we're talking about Captain Boomerang a lot, so I really want to bring this up because I find it hilarious. When Rick is like, no, you guys can do whatever you want now.
It breaks it.
And Boomerang just runs.
Yeah. That'd have been funny if we never
leaves.
saw him again.
Yeah, but then immediately we cut to the next scene, and he's just like,
Yeah, I'm back.
I'm here. I didn't leave, actually. Haha. Like, but, so Harley does that thing where she's like, oh, maybe we should join her, and, like, maybe we should, well, what has the world ever done for us? They've done nothing but threaten to kill us when we've been bad. Regardless of whether that's a character intention move, if they would have actually started to be like, if there would have actually been a moment where they debated that option of being like, hey, we could all just, fucking team up with this girl and kill everybody and be done.
We'll be done with it,
Yeah, goodbye Batman, goodbye Superman, everyone's gone, we get what we want.
Yeah.
But then for some reason, all of a sudden, Deadshot becomes super moral.
Yeah. Well, okay, there was the scene we forgot at the end of the bar scene when Deadshot decides, I'm going to help you. Will Smith gives this great, like, I don't even think it's a speech. It's like a good, like, few lines of dialogue where he goes, you had these notes for my daughter the whole time? Yeah. And you were going to give them to me? Yeah. All right. We're going to go. I'm going to help you. I don't care if your fucking legs are broken and I got to carry you. This is going to be some biblical shit. And I'm like, that's a really good line where he gets really emotional all of a sudden. You're like, no, that's why you hired Will Smith. That's his paycheck right there. Okay,
yeah.
You just write it out. I want to say that because that is a literal highlight of that line where he goes, this will be a biblical story. And I really wish someone would have put the line in there where El Diablo would stand up and be like, well, then you got to have me. No biblical story is good without the devil, Just like something where it's like this bringing in moment and Harley just going, yeah, fuck it, I'll join him, Which makes sense, where it's like if they would all latch onto that and kind of have this team building moment.
Yeah. Well, and my
other
other question is, why the fuck was Rick Flag carrying a stack of letters around his pocket the entire time? I see, though, I would have loved it if they would have written a line where he was like, I was just waiting to have to show you these. Or like, I knew this was going to help.
I needed to make sure Waller was away.
Right.
It's like she was watching every move, but I wanted to show you this because I read them. You read them? I had to. They were gonna burn them, and I said I would do it. Something like that, where he's like, I saved them to give them to you
when you needed them the most.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something like that.
And just it feels like it's like where I am okay with characters like Harley doing things randomly and just being like, okay, like for her to just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll do it.
I'm like, okay, cool. But all these other characters seem to have that same thing. Where it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this now, and you're like, why? But why are you why? Yeah. Why?
Why are you here?
But then we get to that final fight, and she's Harley's like, well, maybe we should join her, and maybe we should. Maybe this is a good idea. She kneels down, and Katana's sword is there.
And you're just like, what?
So conveniently kneels down, cuts her heart out. So conveniently, her gun is behind her, so she throws it, and
Deadshot shoots the heart, and
game over.
Yeah,
and the movie ends. And I feel empty, and I feel shallow, and I don't know how to feel.
Again, because this movie is just so generic. It's so by the book that it's mediocre. I wish it was bad so I could make fun of it and have fun watching it, But no, it's not Ghost Rider bad, where I could go and watch Nicolas Cage do crazy shit for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that. There's a few good gems, which frustrates me that this movie wasn't great.
It just feels disjointed and poorly written.
Yep, and with that, we've talked for 50 minutes about this film.
And so here's, I guess,
our final
what
words.
I'm thinking. Here's what I'm thinking. DC, you got Wonder Woman. You fuck Wonder Woman up, I'm out.
We're both out. We're done.
I'm done. I don't care how good Justice League is. You fucked up so many times. I'm done.
Yeah, and this is coming, especially for me, who thinks Man of Steel was okay. I thought
Yeah,
Batman v Superman was okay. It had problems, but it was okay. And this movie's okay. It just, I know I'm not going to spend my money anymore if they just keep coming like this. Well,
Yeah.
the thing I really wanted him on here, Chris Kraus, our good buddy, who's a mega comic book fan, like puts me to shame, has said I'm not seeing DC movies anymore based off of reviews because I'm not spending my money anymore. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, that's hardcore coming from you.
Yeah, I was okay with Superman. I was actually on the up and up. I didn't mind it. Batman vs Superman for me was ruined by a few terrible moments. Ruined the whole movie for me. Yeah, the Martha moment, and this one was just, it was less than Superman.
Yeah. So
It was just uncomfortable. And so DC, I beg you, because I love DC. I love Batman. I love Superman. I love, Green Arrow, whatever. I love these characters. Do them some justice. Get your hands out of the director's way. Let them work. Let them make something. Get some good movies under your belt before you start forcing this universe.
yeah.
And then
Well-
we can talk.
Well, speaking of the universe, they actually been doing they learned something from Marvel with the whole mid-credit scene building the universe, because that scene with Batman, Bruce Wayne talking to Waller, was a good scene to build the universe, where she's like, I need these metahuman information, which is the Flash, Cyborg, and you're like, okay, that's cool, that's how we got the information, that's great. And they kind of know, she says something like quit working nights, and you're like, ah ha ha, that's good stuff, do more of that, less of direct, forcing things on us.
And then Batman has that whole, I'm going to have to end it thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, are we going to see the Justice League, bat the Suicide Squad aside at one point?
I'd be for it.
I mean, let's be honest, Justice League would destroy the Suicide Squad, but it would be cool to see it like a minor conflict.
Well, I think it'd be really cool if the Justice League showed up and they needed reinforcements from the Suicide Squad.
Or something like that. Yeah.
That'd be cool. Batman's working with Harley Quinn and she's like, listen, Bats, you and I got beef, but I got a bomb in my neck that says I can't hit you.
Yeah.
That would be great, but we don't get that, and we won't get that. And it's just, see, I'm not even a huge DC fan. If anything, I lean more towards Marvel, but I want DC to do good because good competition leads to better movies all around.
And everyone wins.
And we're not getting that right now.
Bill, we still going to do that Marvel retrospective?
Yes, we will be doing a retrospective towards Marvel movies, all of the Marvel Cinematic Universes, and then we might even open it up past that to just start covering all comic book movies.
Yeah, let's just do hero movies. Yeah, let's do comic book movies. So that means we can...
It's coming up.
Does that mean I can finally talk about Kingsman on a podcast more than just, the few scenes in it?
Yeah, we're going to do probably, the other guys kind of stuff. Put, Hellboy in there and, the Kingsman and stuff like that,
Yeah, I think that'd be fun. Let's get this Marvel thing underway so we can stop bashing DC.
Well, DC will get a turn in this retrospect. I just have to come up with a good name and all that stuff. So
Sounds good.
Until then, we will take care. We'll see you in our September podcast when we talk about shit that I don't care about.
My laggy ass is peacing out.
Oh, expect a Stranger Things review coming soon.
Oh, I need to watch that.
Yep. All right.
Bye, everyone.